Hi, my name is JoAnn and this is Artistry Collaborative. Do you like fairies? I love fairies. Well, today we are going to make this fairy junk journal. This is simply from a cardboard box. Like, I think this was macaroni and cheese, if I have to say. And so it's a lot of steps, but it's easy. It's not difficult at all, and I'm going to show you every step of the way. So as we say in Artistry Collaborative, just try it. You're going to love it, I swear. And if you like these tutorials, and I just subscribe and share, I'd be so grateful. I'm so happy you're here. And now let's get to it. Let's try this together. Okay, so this is going to be probably a two-part tutorial. These are junk journals, and this one I made for a friend, and they're made from recycled cardboard boxes. And like I've said many times, if I can keep it out of the dump, I'm a happy person. And I use avocado dyed and tea dyed papers, as well as scrapbook papers. There's pockets. I stamp some of the pages. You put a pocket in there, you can put a little note in there. You know, it's just a fun little thing for your thoughts, for your, you see a quote that you like. They have travel ones, they have diaries, they have gratitude ones. But I'm going to focus on fairy because I just found out about a fairy fair, and I'm very excited to do that. And this one is just more nature and plants, so like if you are a gardener and you want to keep notes, this would be great for that. Again, this has a flip out, and you have a pocket in here and a pocket in here, and they're just so much fun. So we're going to make a fairy one, and besides the fairy festival, there's a company called Graphic 45, and they have these beautiful fairy papers, and they discontinued them, and I was so sad. And then they released something very similar, so I'm very excited. I have a new pad. This is from what I had before. This is from a pad called Once Upon a Time. And then this is a pad I bought online from Stamperi. It's called Wonderland, and they're just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So these are the papers that we're going to use. So the first thing you want to do is cut your cardboard box to the size that you want. And you don't have to have it this wide. You can use a very little one. But this is where you're going to put your signatures. And signatures are the pages. As you can see, this one has 3 signatures. And what it is you take your papers, you cut them, and then you fold them in half. So you need to double whatever size you want your pages to be. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the outside. And so I need to decide on what paper I want, and I decided on this beautiful sky. How gorgeous is that? So I need to, the good thing about this is I'm going to be able to get 2 of these out of this one page. So that's awesome. And so you're just going to measure. And you're going to cut. And glue. So we're going to take our tacky glue, and this is so thick. Put it all over the cardboard. Make sure you get the edges really well because you don't want them to come up with wear and tear. Now the inside can be a contrasting paper or it can be the same paper. I may use the same paper because I like that it's plain and I can add lots of ephemera and pockets and fun things. This is just something new that I learned this year and I love it, love it, love it, love it. All my friends are getting them, and they're just so cool. And I get to use up all this stuff that I've been collecting all these years: buttons and beads and feathers and all kinds of stuff. So you take this and you put it down like so. Make sure it's all covered. And then take your credit card or your debit card or your gift card and just smooth it out. Something on the card there. Get out all your wrinkles. Don't worry about the overage because we will trim that once it's dry. And then you want to make the folds on your book so that, you know, it could pull it a little bit, and so you want to make sure that there's enough stretch in the paper to cover. Alright, so let's put the next page on. And again, this does not have to be the same paper. It can be different papers. You can use up your scraps. You can do whatever you like. But for time's sake and sanity's sake, I'm just going to use the same paper. And again, we're just going to cover it. Alright, so this is a piece of copy paper that I dyed in avocado. If you want to know how to do that, basically you take avocado skins, you boil them, and you lie them in pans, and you put the paper in, and they turn pink, a really pretty antique looking pink. And I also do coffee dye and tea dye, and there's tons of tutorials on how to do that. But so I took all my pages that I have and I cut them down to fit into the journal. And of course, according to the size of your box is how you're going to measure what you. I'd like to do it just so that there is space on the top and on the bottom and on the sides, because these are going to go in the middle. So I had 22, so I divided it into 7 of those, and then I add some scrapbook paper and some cardstock just to give it a few sturdy pages to put pockets on or flaps or whatever. So basically you take your pages, and there's no amount of pages that are correct. There's no amount of signatures. You can put 1, 2, 5, 10, depending on, you know, how much you feel like sewing. But it's up to you. So let's see, I have one, so I like to start off with a cardstock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then put another cardstock in the middle so it's surrounded by a strong, it's bookended. And then the same thing with this. 1, and you want to open it up because you're going to sew in between, and that's how. Okay, so my battery died. So where I was, where these are what they call signatures. And so what you want to do is measure where you're going to put the signatures. So this is 1 3/4 inches. So a little less than, well, yeah, I'm going to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of an inch, and then a little over 1/4, and then 1/4 there. Alright, and then you want to do the same. See, to me this should be over a little bit. I guess I should eye it first. There is no exact science, but basically you want it in thirds. And then you want to do it at the top. So this one is here, here, and there, here, here, and there. And bring it down a little bit because you want a little bit of a space, at least 1/2 inch. And then down here, the same thing. And actually that's not really in the middle, so I'm going to move those middle dots further down. To here, here, and here. Alright. And then you're going to take your signature and you're going to mark where you have to line up the holes. So as you can see, this one does not line up. And so this, and this. And then I open it up. And I have 3 pins. I have a pin, a needle, and alright, so I start off putting a little hole. Make sure you can see this. Make sure all your pages are lined up. I put a hole right where that mark is and right on the fold. And I go in there with this pin all the way through. Then I go the next size, open it up a little bit more. And then this is the pin, the needle I'm actually going to sew with. And so I make sure that it can go through very easily. And then you do that for all 3 holes. So you go to the next one, first pin, all the way through, the next needle. And again, this is what I'm using. Whatever you have that's sharp that can go through, that's what you use. But when you, this is a needle point needle from my days of doing a lot of stitchery, You will need one of those with a big eye to sew your signatures in. Okay, so those are done. And you also have to make your holes in your book. And I do the same thing, except after I will go with a small screwdriver and make the hole really big. And lately I have been putting eyelets in to preserve the holes. You don't have to. I wasn't doing it before, but I just thought that it made it more sturdy and professional looking, clean looking, and I thought it would preserve the book binding a little bit better. So yeah, so you put your, I put the first one, I put the second one, I put the third, and then I put this really big one in there. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if your holes don't align with that, make sure you keep it straight, and you want to align it, so even though you measured, you know, make sure that it's lined up. I'm not good with details, measuring, but I do know that it needs to be straight. And then this, and then this, and then once more. And again, you don't want to go too close to here, you don't want to go too close to here, and you don't want to go too close to each other either, because it needs room to open up, and you're going to add stuff to your pages, so you need room to expand the book. So just keep that in mind, that it's not too close to the edges. And I'm just going to go through and do all 9 holes. Okay, so these are the grommets that I use, and I was having a hard time putting them in, but this little screwdriver is perfect, and I just put it on the screwdriver and then I just press it in to the hole. Yeah, sure. Every time when I put the camera on, it gives me a hard time. Alright, and then now, when they will come out because they're not glued in, but that's okay. And then after all my signatures are in, I go and hammer it so that it goes down. But basically you would, you know, try to push this down so that it, but I don't do it until the thread is through it. Alright, so I have all my signatures ready to go. I have this twine, I don't know, AC Moore, I don't know where I bought it. You can get it anywhere. Sometimes people even use the twine that they sew up turkeys with, but I like that one because it was gray. And I cut the middle one, I go three lengths of the book, but for the most part you could do 2.5, because the reason why I like the middle one to be longer is because I put charms on the bottom. Alright, so these are all in here. This is my first signature. Make sure if you have any kind of design that you have it so that this is all going the right way. A lot of times I've done it and it's been upside down and I had to redo it, so there's that. So you take your, this is the real long one, yeah, so I want the shorter one. You take your needle and you thread it, just like that. You leave this open. You start in the middle. You go through all the pages. Okay, so you go through all the pages and the back of the book. Pull it through, make sure you leave a tail, and then you come up. I see this already came out, so it just goes right back in. Just push that all the way back in. Then you're going to come up one side, like so, through the grommet, through all the pages. Sometimes I have to pull them apart to see where I'm going. Sometimes they go right through. And you pull it through, make it taut. You're going to go through the other side, all the pages. Make sure you align it. Don't make another hole. You want to use the hole that you put in there. And come through. Sometimes I use some long-nosed pliers to pull it through. And then go through the middle. For some reason this one is very, very short. I would go 3 lengths when you're cutting this. I'd rather have more than not enough. And then you pull it through. You make sure that it's nice and tight. And you tie a knot. And that's your first signature. And then you do it again for this one. So this one I wanted the longer thread because it's the middle. And just thread. Start in the middle, go down the middle, pull it through. If you can hold the grommet in place, it would help because it probably most definitely will come out. You want to leave a tail. Come up one side, see how it's coming out. I mean, if you wanted to glue them in and wait till it dried and then did this, I'm sure that would help too, but I don't have patience for that. Okay, and then you're going to come through all the pages. And you're going to go to the other end. And I have to say, a lot of people do not use the grommets. You don't have to. Sometimes they just put a piece of paper or fabric to cover the signature threads. But I like it. I like that it looks handmade. So I keep it. Alright, so that's nice and tight. Then you come up the middle. If you get confused, just remember you have to end up in the middle so that you can start, you can end where you started. And then again, it's nice and tight and taut. Beautiful. Tie it. And there you go. So that's your second signature. And now you're going to do the third. Now again, remember, you want to make sure that it's all doing the same thing. So you want to make sure you're going the right way. And we're going to do this. Yeah, that should be okay. Alright, so thread. So you get the idea. Alright, I'll come back once all this is done. Okay, so this is the Bailey, go chew your bone. This is the journal, all finished. And what I normally do is, this is the fun part, by the way, well, once I get this part done. Okay, I know this is probably off camera, do it over here, see if it works. But sorry about the mess, but this is what happens when I'm trying to collect all the things I want to put in my journal. So then I go back and hammer these all in. And again, you can glue them in. But that's what I do. Okay. So now the fun part begins. Yay! So I've collected a bunch of ephemera and lace and washi tapes, and I made some tags, and I use a lot of scrap paper from the pages that you cut, because you know you cut off a lot of paper, and I don't like to waste, you know that. So let's start with the cover. Well, we'll begin. It's not going to be done, but so looking through my laces, I thought this would be really pretty going around, all the way around the edge. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is glue down the lace. So I'm going to go here. I'm using tacky glue all across. Put it in. I'm going to leave a little over the side because I'm going to put some glue on the end of the lace so that it seals it, and then I will cut it. So I will put a little thing of glue here, rub that in, a little thing of glue here, rub that in, and that's that. Okay, and then I thought I would put this on the front, like that. Let me cut off this lace. Again, I'm cutting it a little bigger because I'm going to trim it later. But that's that. And then I have, this is called the Scotch Tape Runner. They have many different companies have them, but it is the greatest thing. And this is the one I want to put on. Do I want that one, or do I want Follow Your Dreams? Well, let's just put Dreams, because we can, yeah. So then you just run it across, and it sticks so well. It's awesome. And then you just put that on there. I will add a bunch of buttons and beads and all that fine stuff. But right now, let's just get that down. And then I'm going to go through my book and add some fun things. Now my signature is I always stamp a doorway on the first page. So I will do the stamping after. But to give you an idea, I bought a bunch of these tags. And so in my pages, I will put let's see, something that matches really well. Like maybe one of these. And then I'll put the tag inside it. I made some small tags. Everything is every which way. Small tags like this. And you'll slide that in there. I like that one. I think I like that one. So again, these papers are from Graphic 45, all these fairy papers. Let's see, we can put that like that. And so what you would do is just the 3 sides. 1, 2, 3, and put that right in here. And then you can put your tag like that. And I'll put a little string on there. And they can write a little note or their favorite quote or any of that. And so I'm going to go through all the pages. I'm going to take this one, and I think I'm going to just put it on there so that it just decorates that a little bit. Line that up. And I'm going to trim it. And you could have made it, I could have made it a tag, you know, but it's not really what I wanted to do with that. Okay. And little pockets, you can find so many cool little pockets and things to do. Now this, you know, again, just put it on a page. It doesn't, this is why I like to use the scrapbooking paper, because it's a little stronger than this. This, I think, is mostly should be for writing, but it doesn't have to be. That's just my opinion, but I think I may put this like this so that it's on there like that. Line it up. I have to cut this end. I'm going to put a little piece and to secure it. There. That's that. And then the page that I was using had all these wonderful little strips. So I'm going to decorate all these little pages with great, yeah. And the thing about Graphic 45 is it's all color coordinated, so it all goes together so well. Not cool? Maybe I'll put another one here. So that it's and I mean, there are so many different things you can do. Like, I can put this on, let's see, where's one of those green pages? Like this. And I can put this here. And then you just do one side. You do the top, you do the bottom, and you do one side. You put that like this. And then you can put a card in there, like so. So many things you can do. I've got this adorable little thing. I think I'm going to put that on the back side. And I'm not sure if I'll write something in it, or, you know, we could put words. Alright, so that's what you do. You play. You find all little bits and pieces. There's these little stamps I made, just stick in different places to decorate the page. Okay, so this is my signature stamp. This is just something I came up with for my journals, so that all my journals are consistent. But yeah, I just like the idea of an open door, that anything is possible. You know that quote, God closes one door and opens another. And I want people to think about all the things that are possible in their life. So it's just a very positive way to start a journal. So I use copper because it's brown and it goes really well on the pages. And you just put it down and rub really, really hard. And it's very light, but it's okay because they're going to color that in anyway. And then I have, let's see, teal and purple and mixed, and I have some peacock feathers. Yeah, like that. Maybe back here. There's the top. And it's just to decorate the book a little bit more. Let me get a baby wipe. Some people clean their stamps, some people don't. I think it's just an individual thing. I don't think it hurts to clean it. Yeah, this has got purple on its pink. I'm going to get rid of that. And let's see, let's do some purple. I always think it's better to stamp down than to stamp into the pad. Ah! And take a page. There. Like that. Let's take teal. I've got some fireworks here. And it's just random. It's just a little surprise for someone to find. Oh, isn't that cute? Now I'm going to add this little, I just found this in my stash the other day. Forgot all about it. So I'm going to lay some of this down. Gives it that ethereal quality. And I found some flowers that I like. Thought I was going to put this and this. Yeah. So put that down. That. Then I picked up some buttons that I thought went really well. I like this piece of jewelry. Again, I break up a lot of my bracelets and earrings that I lose and just use it as with the back still on it. Okay. Don't like that. Don't want that. Oh, I was going to put a pearl. Let's put a pearl. Where can we put a pearl? Let's put a pearl up here. Like so. Anything else that I want to add? I think that's good for now. And again, you also have, if you have washi tape in your stash, you can put washi tape on pages. You know, you can decorate a page that way. So there's thousands of things you can do. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And you know what? I think we need some bling along here. I think I'm gonna get some rhinestones. Oh, I gotta do the dangles. You gotta do your dangles. So I have all this, again, broken jewelry, and I love to add dangles to the bottom. So I try to find stuff that I think coordinates really well. Colors, schemes. See, like that one, I think would go really nice. So I just take it off. I undo the O-ring. You just grab it and twist. Now, you okay? Don't be shaken. Alright, and then I just thread it through. And again, if you don't have broken jewelry, ask your friends, ask your neighbors. But the craft stores do sell small little charms that you can put on your journals. You can usually get like, I don't know, 15 little charms for like $4, and then buy them when they're on sale, and it's even better. Why is this one being difficult? I do not know. I should just cut the end and start again, but there we go. And then I do it so that it at least hangs below, and then I just knot it and then cut the excess. And I'll put 3 or 4 different charms. So alright, I will show you the picture when it's, I'm going to put some thing there and do the rest of the charms, and that'll be it. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying these. Please subscribe and share and like. I need your support. I am grateful for your support, and I hope that you are enjoying this and trying. You know, that's the biggest thing with us, is we just want you to try. It's so important to try. Yeah, it really is. So I hope you are well. If you'd like to go to our website, it's artistrycollaborative.org, or you can listen to my podcast on creativity. It's called Inner Promptings. You can find it on Anchor. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Google, and Apple podcasts, Stitcher. There's a bunch of different platforms that you can listen to it. And again, subscribe and share that too, because it's just really important that we start to really tap into our creativity. It is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. Take care of yourself, because there are things that you need to get back in your life that you've probably suppressed and pushed down, and you know, you get these inklings to do something, and somewhere along your life someone said, no, you can't do that, you're too old, you don't have any money, or you're not smart enough, or you're not creative. And God, that's so not true. It's not true. Don't believe what other people tell you that have their own issues. One of the greatest things I ever heard was, do not take advice from unhappy people. And so I give you that today, you know. Surround yourself, I used to tell my son all the time, surround yourself with kings and queens. Kings and queens, not the pawns. They've got their own things to work through. So I hope that you're very well, and I wish you the best. You know that. You may not know it, but that's what I want you to know. All right, you have a great day. Bye. And this is the FairyJunk Journal finished. You can see there's a pocket. And then my signature stamp with another pocket. Side we have this card put in. Here's a little fairy door, and inside has a cute little note. I used some washi tape and made a fold out, so you get a couple of extra pages for journaling. And then there's this side. Sorry, this is so wobbly. It's hard to film and turn pages at the same time. And then the end. And then here are all the charms. Thank you so much for watching.